right over there that you've been visiting. And we work in small targeted areas so that we can make an impact. Well, what does that impact look like? We want to, number one, reoccupy vacant houses. We don't want a block, a really nice block in our neighborhood with boarded up homes on it and boarded up properties. Our goal is to find a matchmaking opportunity with the developer, whether it's a homeowner with a rehab loan or a person of interest that has a stake in the community that wants to see the communities rebuilt. That is a very important key piece of what we're doing. In addition to that, we work collectively to assist the people that are currently in those neighborhoods. There may be a senior that cannot take care of the home themselves. We can help them with a grant to be able to go in and fix the facade of their home. We help them with energy efficiency. We have our energy efficiency team right over there with their hand in the air. And so that's Chicago Bungalow Association. And so please make sure that you visit all the tables so you can learn and understand where our target areas are and what it is that we're focused on, and at each table they should be able to tell you about a lot of the support that we have to offer in that neighborhood. I would now like to introduce you all into Sean Harding. He's with the Chicago Community Loan Fund, and he's the consultant that is managing the Chicago Rebuild Program. You all give Sean a big round of applause. Thank you.
The exciting part about the Rebuild Program is you have an opportunity as a local developer to rebuild or redevelop a project that's in your community. So it has 3, maybe 4 components that are very interesting and designed specifically to turn around our communities. So number 1 is the Chicago Community Loan Fund has on its website what's called a request for qualifications. So I'm inviting everyone to go there, check it out. It's a few documents, a few things that you need to fill out, but here's the benefit of doing so. Once you become qualified as a developer, you'll have access to financing, and my colleague will talk more about that. Wendell Harris, who's the Vice President of Lending, he's someone you want to know. So you get special financing as you go through the program. The second is, how many people are familiar with the term write-down assistance? Have you heard of that term before? So I'll explain it pretty briefly. Let's say you find a property and it's listed or has a list price of about $80,000, right? You go in and you do the assessment as a developer, you determine that it's going to cost you $150,000 for rehab. When you analyze the market, you determine that the market has a resale value of that home at $230,000. Well, that's a pretty small market, right? And so what the Rebuild Program allows you to do is to ask for write-down assistance, or in other words, a grant, to write down the acquisition costs. Because we realize that with these, in our communities where margins are small, oftentimes they're small because of the assessments or the appraisals aren't really giving us the value that we need to. We know that when margins are small, there's very little incentive for a local developer to tackle a troubled building, right? So we have to build the economic incentive for you to tackle that troubled building and turn that community around. So we'll provide that write-down assistance. The other thing is you get the opportunity to partner with several different divisions, the Department of Housing, which is critical, CCLF, and Nicole Wheatly. Now you guys know, if you got Nicole Wheatly on your team, you're gonna win.
I am Wendell Harris. I am the Vice President of Lending Operations at the Chicago Community Loan Fund. The Chicago Community Loan Fund, also known as CCLF, is a community development financial institution, a CDFI, and we are charged with supporting our neighborhoods, specifically as it pertains to commercial real estate. We fund all types of asset classes, anything from vacant land acquisition for future large-scale development to small 1 to 4 unit projects, which is primarily why we are here supporting Nicole and specifically the city of Chicago through its Chicago Neighborhood Rebuild Program, to where we are supporting local developers and investors that are based in these communities, which the initiative focuses primarily on the 7, 10, and 11 police districts, but it also has opened up a bit wider to additional low to moderate income census tracts in Chicago. So aside from 1 to 4 units, we fund multifamily, mixed-use community facilities, as well as large and small-scale commercial real estate projects, and then we help nonprofits and social enterprises with equipment and working capital.
So Will Edwards, Assistant Commissioner, Department of Housing, Housing Preservation Programs. One of the reasons why we feel like these kind of events are important is to bring together different elements and entities within the community, local developers, local suppliers, realtors, and the banks, the lending institutions. This is a great opportunity for folks to kind of mix, mingle, have conversations, and understand exactly what we're doing through the Micro Market Recovery Program.
My name is LeVar Love. I am the president and owner of Rosie Investment Corporation. I am a minority developer in the Chicagoland area, and currently I am working on a project in the Auburn-Gresham area. It is for 72nd and Vernon. So it's a major project here that is going through the neighborhood rebuild program. So this is the first project that is leveraging city resources to put together affordable housing on the south side that is a partnership between nonprofit, the private side, as well as the city of Chicago.
This is my wife, Franzi Griffith, Gerald Griffith, formerly, I should say, Franzi Bordeaux Griffith.
Yes.
And we are the owners of the Bordeaux Griffith Design Center. Design Center is, in Franzi's interpretation, a mini merchandise mart. So I'm an artist, a fine artist, been an artist for over 30 years, had a gallery in the River North, on and on. And 16 years ago, I met my wife and convinced her to leave sunny Florida to come to Chicago. And so my art gallery business became Griffin Gallery and Interiors, because she's an interior designer, product designer, architectural designer. She's been written up in Architectural Digest, won all kinds of awards, designed all over the world, Paris, and St. Kitts. And but she didn't know about Chicago, so I had to bring her to Chicago and let her know, well, you know, if you can go to Paris, you can come to Chicago.
I know about Chicago. I didn't want to be in Chicago.
It's so cold.
It's too cold.
And she was working on this line of designer products, appliances, bathware, sanitary ware, flooring, furniture, office design products. And we were looking for a large enough space to be able to house the work that we do and showcase the work that we do. And we went through, when Chicago was going through its turmoil, we tried to get one of the schools that closed. We went through the land bank. We tried to get a closed ComEd facility. And finally, we were able to get this space through a realtor. And it was in very bad shape. It was, you know, everything was all dark and black and shambles and dirty, and old trucks and stuff was in here. This building had been closed for a couple of years. And when we came in, my wife was like, "This is perfect." And I was like, "What?" Because it was just, you know, I couldn't see it. But as we started laying out just with a chalk, laying out the ground, and I could see what her vision was. And the result is what you see in this building. So everything in this building was done by us. All the products was made by us. All of the art was done by me. All of the construction, because she's a general contractor, architectural. We have different construction crews that we work with and subs that we work with. So we built this entire space out. And we wanted to have a space in the Black community where we can go and feel comfortable and be proud, a place that's luxurious and upscale. And also a place of business where developers and contractors could go, where individuals could go if they're redoing their house, renovating their basement, building a house from scratch. We wanted them to be able to come here, source products that's made by Black people, support Black people, support a Black business, bring their kids, and have a place that kind of brings back that spirit of Tulsa, Oklahoma, or Bronzeville, or a time when, as a community, we were self-sustaining. So we're trying to create that idea again with the Bordeaux Griffith Design Center. And Nicole and the Rebuild Foundation has been great. We're delighted that they came and had their event here, and we hope to, continue that collaboration and do many, many things in the future. future.
It was a tremendous success today. There were so many developers, contractors, business owners, residents, and people who have an interest in home ownership that came out today. I believe that every single person that I talked to were blown away by the center itself, the Bordeaux and Griffin Center. It's an African-American owned center that has really amazing products from any building supplies that a person can imagine. And then on top of it, I think as well that today people learned what are the targeted areas that the city of Chicago is focusing on and how could they be a part of the proactive plan to make those neighborhoods great. And so we are really looking forward to the future. We know that the city of Chicago has an amazing attribute in housing stock. And so people now are starting to learn that instead of running away, they're starting to run to it. So I would say today was a masterful success. We had quite over 300 people come out in increments for social distancing, but it was really phenomenal. You could feel the great energy and the people want to be a part of rebuilding neighborhoods and they know how important it is. And so really right now we're just looking forward to a phenomenal future.